Welcome to this introduction of Remind's new Enhanced Data Dashboard. The new dashboard is visible on the Overview and the Statistics tabs, and it upgrades the district and school administrator experience with key engagement insights about how your community uses Remind. These insights will help you better understand the communication taking place within your schools and across your district so you can make informed decisions that improve your organization's communication practices. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, starting with the Overview tab. This Overview tab provides you with quick, at-a-glance metrics and a high-level snapshot of your community. At the top, you will see the number of students, parents, teachers, and staff who are in your district or school. You can also see high-level data points around reachability and adoption and usage as you scroll down. At the bottom, you can see the top schools with the most users sending messages, which is visible on the district administrator dashboard only. You can also download a list of all schools ranked by most users sending messages from the full list option on the right. If you want to know more, click on individual tiles and you'll be taken to the Statistics tab where you can get more detailed information on each metric. On the Statistics tab, you'll get a more detailed look at the data highlighted on the Overview tab. Let's take a look in detail at each section, starting with the community overview. This section gives you a more detailed look at who is in your community. You'll be able to filter data in 3 ways: by role, syslink status, and specific school. Only district administrators can filter by all schools in their district. Once filters are selected, use the refresh button on the right to apply those filters. Looking at the charts below, you can drill down to even more information with just a click. The chart on the left tracks who is syslinked or not. Click on the blue or the gray area to get more details. If I click on the gray, for example, it takes me to a list of who is not syslinked. I can download this chart as a CSV file if I want, and if I do that, I should make sure to click Advanced Data Options and then click All Results before downloading, so that my CSV download includes all possible rows, not just the rows in this preview display. With this download, I now have the user level information I need to ensure that my whole community is syslinked if that's what I wish. Note that on the right, you can see a breakdown of your community by role. I can click on the sections of this chart to get a download of user level data. I can also click on the call out at the bottom here to get a download of all the users who have no role. This will help me understand who needs to have their role updated, which you can do through rostering or manual changes within the product. Note that if a user belongs to multiple schools, in these CSVs, that one user will be represented in multiple rows or 1 row per school. So there may be more than 52 rows represented in the CSV, even if there are just 52 users. Note that on the right, there is also the option to download all granular user level information for the entire chart represented in this section. This option gives you a more expansive data set beyond what you get when you drill down to a section of each chart, which is what we were just doing. This user level option is available to the right of this chart and all charts below. Now let's take a look at the next section on preferred language data. This section of the dashboard will help you understand whether each person is set up to receive messages in a language they will understand. You will also know who has not selected a preferred language, so you can either do it for them through rostering or manual changes in product, or reach out to them so they can do it themselves. Once again, you can filter user data by role, syslink status, or by school. You'll also be able to exclude certain languages, as you see here, so you can get a close look at languages, especially those that have a smaller number of users. And again, clicking on each of the blue bars or the user level download on the right will let you download a CSV file with granular user level information. Now let's look at reachability. These charts help you understand how well people are set up to receive messages and by which method: SMS, app, or email. The chart on the left gives you a high-level understanding of who is and isn't reachable. If the user has a valid device in our system, we have marked them as reachable in this chart. You can click on the unreachable section of the chart downloads lists of users, and then takes steps to make sure they have the right contact information and app setup in place. The chart on the right lets you pinpoint the number of people using email, SMS, or the app. Again, you can get user-level data by downloading a CSV, either by clicking on any section of these charts or by using the user-level data option on the right. The Messages Received section helps you understand how successful you are at reaching people in your community after you've actually sent out communication. Did you reach everyone, and how did you reach them? You can filter by role, syslink status, date range, and message type, which means announcements or chats. Note that the chart on the right indicates how many people tend to receive messages by email, SMS, or the app. This allows you to understand which delivery options tend to be the most successful. The chart below lets you look at similar data on messages received, but allows you to see how this looks like over time. This will give you insight into longer-term trends. You will also be able to pinpoint specific date ranges in this chart, but if you want to examine the delivery success of a specific announcement, the announcement delivery summary accessed via the Messages tab is still the best place to do that. Now let's look at the Messages Sent section. This data tells you to what extent teachers and admins are sending messages to their community. This helps you know who is using Remind to engage with their students, parents, and staff. On this chart, you can also filter by message frequency based on your expectation of how often you expect admins and teachers to be sending messages. And by using the CSV download options, you can download user-level data and pinpoint exactly who communicates the most and the least in order to better understand and encourage best communication practices across your district. Also, as a final note, this chart, as well as the two charts above, have date range options that allow you to filter data based on preset date ranges or custom date ranges. You should know that this dashboard does not provide real-time data, and that Remind processes new data every night. So any filter that includes any day of information, like the today filter, won't populate any data. Also note that right now, historical data in these dashboards starts on January 1st, 2022. So you should pick a custom date range that doesn't begin earlier than that in order to see a complete data set. In summary, Remind's Enhanced Data Dashboard gives administrators what you've been asking for and need: data at a glance, coupled with the ability to get more in-depth information with just a click. This new dashboard equips district and school administrators with information that surfaces key data insights about reach, adoption, and usage. This valuable data helps build quality communication across your community, which leads to better informed families and students, which fosters stronger relationships, and in the end helps to drive student retention and engagement. Thank you for taking the time to learn about Remind's Enhanced Data Dashboard. For more information, please contact your Remind customer success partner.